Maybe I should run the computer and you should be on the screen. Because you built, oh, you did that. Okay, you weren't on the stream. Okay. Oh, let's have the other, grab the other mic. Maybe you should take on myself. Yes, you should ask.
Yeah, like a university. You know what I mean?
It feels respectful.
Yeah. Just let me know when we're. Oh no, because you can't, because it's jumping in. Yep. All right, transition it so we can talk.
Hello? Can you hear us? Oh, wow. So we think we did not have sound, it seems.
It's okay. We'll start all over again.
It's okay.
I will do it all day. Hey, guys. If you heard this already.
If we're actually repeating ourselves, we apologize, but we're just going to take it from the top.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 22 of Signal Boost. It's our Reno, Northern Nevada art and culture show that we do weekly on Wednesdays, right now at 7.
Right now on Twitch.
Yeah, and I'm Jessie Sprocket. I'm the communications director here. Well, not here, but at the Generator.
Normally we're doing this from the Generator. I am Alicia Dynamic, and I'm the education director at the Generator.
And this week we're here at the Innevation Center.
Innevation Center.
Yes, which is UNR's makerspace. Collab, co-working.
Yeah, co-working, collaboration, incubator type space.
It's super cool. It's my first time here.
I was here once before.
Yeah.
I used to work at the Discovery Museum, and I came over here to meet. It was actually Anella.
Nice.
And her brother, because she was there. His startup was out of here called Breadware, which was like a microcontroller prototyping.
Nerd.
Which is why Eric said I should talk to them, because I've done a lot of microcontroller work in the past.
Cool. So we're going to talk more about the Innevation Center later when we have Daniel on. But right now, we're going to talk with Rory.
From the Worst Little Podcast.
Hi.
Yeah, you probably know him from many things.
Here, you can take
Awesome.
this little puppy. You can
Oh,
put it on you
can I
if you
clip
want.
it? I like.
Yeah, we'll just
I'm
show
gonna
it.
be all cool with
Be cool.
Clippy.
Yeah.
I'm the guest. Yeah.
You're the guest.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
bringing me on as a guest.
Thanks for
I'm
coming.
never a guest. I'm always a host.
I know, it's so good.
And this is live and video. This is so weird. I like pre-record audio like
Yeah,
a week
yeah.
in advance. So
Yeah.
woo.
It would make
Here
us.
we
I
are.
think it would make us too nervous to pre-record.
It'd make me
we'd
too
listen
nervous
to
to do
it.
live.
Then
No.
we'd listen to it, and then we'd never want to post
Yeah,
it.
live
That's
is
what-
like jumping off a cliff
That's
into, you know.
But that's what tech engineers for. You do it live, they record it and edit it to make you look really good.
That's true. That's true.
Well, maybe we'll move to that in the future. What do
No,
you
live is
think?
better. Everybody wants us
What
to do
do you
live.
think?
Then we can
To your
respond to them
audience?
live. Yeah. Hit us up in the chat.
Callers. Caller, you're on the air.
Call our lines.
Yes.
I wish we could do that over at the podcast. We've been doing it 11 years, but it has
Wow.
never been live.
That is nuts.
Because we can't afford one of those really expensive phone controller boxes that
Yeah.
lets us do that.
Yeah.
You know what? They have a podcast room here, a recording studio here. Isn't that
I
crazy?
I have a full service studio.
Nice.
But yes, but they have a full service studio here too. Like it's probably with a little more bells
Yeah,
and
they have a
whistles
really cool
than
podcast
what I
studio
use.
here.
That's rad.
How many? I wonder how many podcasts get recorded out of here. That is a question for a later segment.
Yeah, we'll ask Daniel later in the
Later in
show.
the show.
Wow, 11 years. So how many episodes?
We are right around the 450 mark. We're planning on celebrating episode 500 during season 12.
Wow.
Yeah, and our seasons start with the new year, so it's been pretty
Coming up.
exciting. We've had, I mean, that's 450 episodes, and I can't even add the number of hours of interviews and live music from local bands and
Wow.
performers and artists and actors and independent business. I mean, we try to focus mostly on the Reno scene, but it's our stupid friends too, or people who get in touch with us, and we I can pair somebody who's got a burlesque show with a solo songwriter, which is actually one of the episodes literally coming up in October with Reagan Riot and Chris Alexander. If you know who they are, it's gonna be a really exciting show. Yeah, that'll be a really exciting horror rock sex show.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit about the podcast. Like, if
Yeah,
this person has never tuned into it.
If you have never heard of the podcast, it is actually called The Worst Little Podcast the worst little podcast in the world, but it's at worstlittlepodcast.com. It's a WordPress site, and we have way too many episodes up there. For 11 years, we have been interviewing and having live performances from local Reno singer-songwriters and bands. Everything from a gal with a guitar to a 7-piece jazz ensemble. We have the luxury of recording at Dogwater Studios with our good man Dogwater Dick.
Where's that?
What a name.
It's a home studio, and if you'd like to know the address, you can contact them at dogwaterstudios.com.
You may not show up.
The studio itself is about 12, 13 years old, something like that. And it's it's Reno DIY. Rick has recorded so many fantastic albums that you have heard. I guarantee it. If you're a fan of local music, you've heard albums Rick has recorded or mastered. And since the beginning, we wanted to do, 11 years ago, we wanted to do a stupid shock jock, our own fake radio show, but promote all of our dumb friends.
That's a crazy idea.
And we got together one week and recorded just us with some tapes, and then our first guest was Danielle French. A lovely friend of Reno who's a Canadian by birth. We don't hold it against her because she's changing the music and art world up there. And that was, of course, just an acoustic singer-songwriter night. And now we've recently had First Take with Rick Metz, and we've had Greg Golden on the show during the pandemic over a Zoom. We've had all of your favorite dumb punk rock bands. Wormhole Could Kill Us All. The one band we've never gotten is the Atomics because they're losers and I hate them.
Wow. You're going to get them on the show now.
No, never again.
They're gonna see
Like
this.
you'll be lucky to see the Atomics play live again. But yeah, but other than them, we've got everybody else since the good old days. It's been a really exciting thing to. I don't know. I was talking to Max Volume last week on the show, and he name drops everybody, so I'm going to name drop him. I was talking to Max Volume, and I lost the point of what I was going to say. Gosh
Something
darn
about
it!
people you get on the show or
Oh,
have on the show?
yeah. No, whatever. See, Matt, I said Max. Next episode will be published this Friday, Friday morning for your morning drive.
Every morning. Every Friday morning?
Every Friday. It's like Thursday at midnight, but nobody sees that except me. We also publish The Worst Little Grid, which shows weekly events in town. That's up on our Instagram page. Oh, yeah, here's what Max and I were talking about. I don't want to ask questions like, so who are your biggest influences? What kind of strings are those that you play? And is that a Gibson or is that a Fender? I don't give a shit. I want to know what you're like 2 beers in talking about, losing your virginity in college or something like that.
That's a very real show.
We introduce the personalities of the musicians to their fans and potential fans. Because you can listen to people's Spotify, you can go to their shows, and you can be wowed by their music. But there's something different when you get to know those creators as people. And that's been the biggest, drive of the Worst Little Podcast for all of these years is to show the people behind the art, basically.
Okay, but who are you, the man behind the podcast? You, the man behind the podcast.
Oh gosh, I'm a local area bon vivant, and I have both a bullshit degree and a lot of certifications in talking too much. I don't know.
You play.
I moved to Reno in 1996, and Reno picked me up as a homeless punk rock college dropout and gave me a great family of friends and losers who I love dearly to this day. And so the podcast is a little part of giving back to that same scene that helped raise me up when I ran away from home at the tender age of 23. But also, along with that, is the Merry Anarchy benefit that I do with my partner, Nick Ramirez. That's his brainchild. I'm merely a facilitator with that operation. Nick's also one of the hosts over on the podcast. But prior to the pandemic, twice a year, May and December, we have been running a charity benefit fundraiser featuring local bands for the past 17 years. It started, the first official one was sometime in 2001 or 2002.
Well, I had no idea it was so long running.
And then Mary Ann Pasoda, the namesake of the show, she passed away in 2004. And we all got together and played music and passed around the hat. The first time it was for Mary Ann's medical bills. The second time it was for Nick and settling her affairs. It's his ex-wife, or not ex anything actually, but just passed. And then the next year, Nick turned around and he put on a benefit again, and then we put on a benefit again, and then we did one in December and May. And it's become kind of a Reno tradition. I've always said it's the best thing Reno does for itself. I came on board just like, hey man, I'll help out. And now, Nick says I can say it's my event too. I'm a co-organizer. Yeah, at this point, I guess. This year, we're actually doing only one in October. So it's going to be October 8th and 9th, and then 15th and 16th. So the 2 weeks after the Offbeat Fest, but before the holiday. We're actually it's 2 weekends, and it's going to be a benefit for the 3 local Reno theaters, Good Luck Macbeth, Bruca, and Reno Little Theater, who are just starting to open their new seasons again, and we're really excited to help support them and save our local stages and raise a little money for the collective arts here in town.
We got to get a theater person on the show so bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, TMC. No,
Isn't it? Oh,
TMCC
no.
Black Box Theater.
Black
And the
Box.
TMCC Black Box, that's, dude, the
Yeah.
comeback. That's
Yeah.
really exciting.
Maybe Ashley and Joe can come on the show.
Yeah,
them.
there's all sorts of great people.
Yeah, there really are.
Yeah.
The theater scene here is also like so robust. Reno has it all, guys.
It's
it really
it's
does.
a small group of people who all know each other very well, but yes, you're right. It's very robust. People ask, how long are you going to keep doing this podcast? And I always say until there are bands that we run out of to spotlight.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And I didn't think it would make it a year. And here we are at season 11. Like, we're wrapping up season 11, really. Like,
That's incredible.
and there's always new talent. There's always a new band, a new singer-songwriter you've never heard of who's been here for 20 years. And, Reno's got a lot of art.
There's a lot of talent.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I mean, that's why we do the shows, because the same deal. Like, there's so many cool people we want to spotlight that we already know, and then we meet so many new people, and then those people know people, and then it's
exactly.
like, we'll just do this forever.
It's not like we're looking for, it's always like there's too much.
Every week we're like, we wish we had more time, but it can't be a 4-hour show because that's crazy.
Well, we used to do an hour-and-a-half show, and people said, no, there's no way people will listen to a podcast that's any longer than 20 minutes. And I was even lately in the last couple of years, speaking with Mignon Fogarty, the well-known Grammar Girl of the Grammar Girl podcast that started here in Reno. And she started as a 5-10 minute show, and she's lengthened her shows to be closer to that half-hour, 45-minute mark, whereas we've been kind of bringing ours down to an hour. And I think there is it depends on what you're talking about and who your audience is. When it comes to music and bullshit, people are very happy to listen for a full hour to that.
Turns out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 11 years, man. Wow.
Yeah, that's really a feat. So Merry Anarchy, like, I only knew it as being at Jub Jub's, and it was like it was a whole weekend at Jub's.
That was our home for a very long time. We started at the Zephyr Lounge, and Jub Jub's is kind of the spiritual successor of the Zephyr and Blue Lamp crowd. And now our last benefit was last October for Save Jub Jub's.
Yeah.
Kind of a last ditch effort before things changed, and I'm not even going into all that because it wasn't my job.
But now it's at multiple venues.
So we needed to find a new home. And this year we reached out to a number of different clubs, and clubs reached out to us knowing that we were going to need a home. Our first weekend is going to be entirely at the Bluebird over on 4th Street, which is super fantastic. The building itself is a historic Reno music place, going back to the underground and archaic and different names it's been run under over the years. So we reached out to RV and Anthony and the guys over there, and they're very receptive to having live music there. They want to have that as much as they want the EDM and party tunes.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the first full weekend there. There's going to be some metal over there and some punk rock. So if you're used to just kind of trance, it'll be a different kind of weekend for you.
Is the Scattering playing?
Yes, I believe the Scattering is playing there that weekend. They're on the hardcore punk night. So that's both nights. The Friday night, I think it's going to be like 6 to midnight, and then the Saturday, I think, is going to be a little bit longer, maybe 4 to 1 a.m. I don't have the complete list on me, but you can find flyers at the Merry Anarchy event page on Facebook, and of course over at the Worst Little Podcast page.
Cool.
The second weekend is going to be at 2 locations as well. It's going to be at Alturas over on 4th Street, Alturas Bar at the Cellar Stage. Thank you, Dennis. And also the second night, the final night of the show, is going to be at 40 Mile. And thank you, JoJo and Bree and everybody who helped me put that together.
No things at Dead Ringer? Things at Dead Ringer.
No, we're not doing anything at Dead Ringer. We would love to work with them in the future, but just things fell into place quickly with the 3 clubs that we're at, and we're really excited that it's going to be a big hug to all of Midtown, from 4th Street all the way over to Mount Rose. And it's we have, I think, almost 40 bands again this year. over 4 nights. It's going to be really exciting. Everything from hardcore punk rock to, singer-songwriter and a couple of pop, poppy kind of sounds. Again, check out the website, check out the full listing for details over at Worst Little Podcast and the Merry Anarchy event page on Facebook.
Yeah, support theater through punk. Yes.
Exactly. And it's all DIY, local bands. And and there's a huge silent auction that's going to start on October 1st and go through the end of the event. So there's like 3 weeks to bid on things.
Anything you're super excited about?
I'm not really involved in that part yet. I'm waiting to find out.
If you have something you want to put in the silent auction, maybe.
Absolutely. We are still taking submissions for that and probably will be right up until the day of the event. Whether it's swag packs, band merch, free tickets to somewhere, another gift you won somewhere else and have no intention of using, tattoo gift certificates, tattoo parlors, piercing shops. Hey, hit us up.
Makerspace gift certificates.
Yeah, any and all sorts of
things.
Saying
it to ourselves.
That you are our audience.
Yeah.
You are our audience. Like these are literally, this is what Reno does for itself.
Do you need volunteers?
We may. That's not my department. So please contact myself or Nick Ramirez or the Merry Anarchy event page on Facebook.
Go to that Maniac.
We're not very organized, but we get it done. At the end of the day,
I don't know anything about that.
What?
I'm not even going to be there this year. That's the other funny thing. Normally, I host the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm up in between every band, and it's my Jerry Lewis, not Jerry Lee Lewis, but Jerry Lewis telethon moment. But this year, quite fortunately, I'm having another child at the end of September here. And so I will have a 2-week-old human. I will be at Merry Anarchy when my band plays on the last day. One Ton Dooley will be one of the acts on the Saturday night of the 16th. And I will definitely be there for that. But other than that, I have a tiny human to care for.
Dude, we've got
multiple
kids.
humans. It's his third human.
Oh yeah, this is impending baby number 3.
Wow, that's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I decided I had too much money and free time, and fuck it, let's have another baby.
I'm amazed you had any left. For real,
for real.
I only have one.
No, we don't.
Well, you can see One Ton Dooley, Rory's band. They played the flea market this year, which we recorded. It was a live stream.
That was exciting.
Yeah,
that was fun.
So that's on our Twitch channel. That's on our YouTube. So click over and watch the performance because it's.
We have new songs.
Yeah, these videos were really good. They were recorded at the Bluebird as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at the Bluebird with Tony Contini doing the video.
He did a nice job.
And that was actually when we first started talking to Bluebird about hosting Merry Anarchy. So we're really excited to make that kind of come to fruition.
Yeah, they said they were like, we're gonna host the punk rock flea market because we want to do more live music, and I was like, perfect. So here you go.
Networking. That's really where it started. Yeah.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Any other things, details you want to tell our viewers before we head out? There's so much we could talk to you about. I feel like you're going to come back again.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to because I know I'm taking up all your time here and you got another guest and stuff. But the best way if you wanted to find out more about Merry Anarchy is going to be hit up Worst Little Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. That's kind of our center of operations. I'm on a 30-day ban currently, so I'm having other people post things by proxy.
Okay.
But that's why we have a team and a family. I do want to give a shout out to everybody over at the podcast, the other hosts, Ian and Cadillac Kim. Kim. As well as our current intern, Ragmop, my own first progeny. I'd like to thank you all just for being a part of it. You guys help make it all. It's not just me. It's not just Nick. It's not just Rick, even though Rick is the prettiest. And Chewy. Oh yeah, can't forget Chewy. Josh is a part of the show. He just pops in when he feels like it. If you're a fan of the show, you know who I'm talking about, and you're laughing right now.
Nice.
And Chewy, I'm sorry, I didn't forget you. I meant to say you last. And at Merry Anarchy, there's so many people that are helping put this together. Everybody at the theaters, Mary and Chris, Melissa, thank you all for your hard work so far. And Rosh and Chris, thank you for promising that you're going to be doing the sound for us. And I know you'll come through.
They will.
Oh yeah, Rosh will always come through.
Yeah.
He has nothing better to do.
1000%.
No. We've got some surprise acts. There might even be some last-minute additions to the set list. If you are interested, if you want to volunteer, if you want to give us stuff, if you just want to throw money at us and can't make it to the event, please, like I said, contact myself or Nick Ramirez or anybody at the Merry Anarchy event page on Facebook.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me on. This is so exciting. I've watched you since the first episode.
Aww,
that was like at your house, right? Yeah, pandemic.
Yes. Pandemic life. Sandy
Very
D.
much in her living room.
Yeah. But
awesome.
Now we're here. All right, we got to roll. We got more stuff to go.
Okay, I'll take off the triple.
Yeah, you're good.
The interview?
Now we're going to do an interview we recorded with Breanna Ernst at her first ever art show.
At the Depot Gallery, which is in Victorian
Sparks.
Square in Sparks. It's adorable. It's very charming. You should go there.
You should go
We
there.
have a few more days to check out her exhibit, but you'll hear that in the interview.
All right, Alex, do the thing.
Do the magic, Alex.
He's like our new intern. Except
Hey guys, we're here at the Depot Gallery, right in Sparks. In the
Victorian Square.
Yeah, Victorian Square. There's cool stuff happening here. We actually filmed Rositza with her piece here, and women artists taking over Sparks. Fuck yeah.
Very cool.
And we're with Breanna Ernst.
Yes.
Cool. Just making sure I'm saying it correctly. Nice. And this is her first show. Incredible.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
So cool. It's doesn't look like it's your first show, let me just say.
Thank you.
It looks way better than my first show. Good job.
Thank you. I put a lot of thought into making it look very cohesive.
Yeah, that's it. It feels like it.
Thank you very much.
So this is portrait show, but it's also a storytelling show, and it's also an interactive
Experience.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about it?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Breanna Ernst. I am a native Renoan, and I've been an artist since I was a kid, but I didn't really take it into a professional field until COVID, and I was given this opportunity to do a show here. So I wanted to take advantage of that and really step up my skills and try and pull out something really professional and profound. My show is about creating connection. It is about creating a safe space for people to be vulnerable and for people to make a connection with someone that they probably wouldn't have in a normal setting. So I had a few people come in and do interviews and a brief photo shoot, and then I painted their portrait. And
so personal.
Yeah.
It's a very personal show.
It is.
It's really human, and that's very beautiful.
Thank you.
So yeah, good.
A lot of the interviews are really surprisingly vulnerable, and
they are. I put a lot of thought into the questions behind the interview. I wanted it to be vulnerable, but not too much, because I certainly didn't want someone to feel uncomfortable or bearing too much of their soul. I wanted to really get down to what makes us all human. It's not about where did you come from or how old you are. It was about what are the things that make us human and how do people connect? And we mostly connect based off of our human experiences. And so I thought that was really important when it came to making the questions. But they're very basic. The first one is, what are your life values? Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that.
It was interesting how many people just listed, they were family, faith, love. And then other people who were told a little story, told a little vignette. So
my dad decided he wanted to be anonymous, so I respected that. He's a super private person.
Okay.
And so I did my parents, actually. So I did my dad and my mother as sort of an honoring of them as well. And so my dad is one of those storytellers. Mm-hmm. He definitely is that personality where he thinks that everything deserves to have an explanation. He really wants you to understand his point of view from a little bit everywhere. So his was quite lengthy, but beautiful.
And also very vulnerable. I thought that I found some of the things he said to be really interesting.
Yes, he does talk a lot about my parents' divorce, but each interview was private. So before I printed them, I sent the interview to each person to proofread.
Cool.
I wanted them to edit it to their liking, whatever they were comfortable with. And so there were a few people who wanted to omit some things because it was more of a gift to me in that moment than to other people.
Yeah.
So while they were still vulnerable and they provided some really wonderful points of view to other people in public, I felt like I received a gift from each person as well, which was very
That's
cool.
beautiful.
It's really
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate from doing this to how sometimes in the middle of an interview you say something and then later you're like,
Wait a minute, no.
yeah. You said that. Like, if you transcribed everything that I've said on this,
Oh no,
cut
oh
it
no.
all out.
Yeah.
You know, viewers. Was that really cathartic for you to interview your parents and be the interviewer and not the daughter? Or do you feel like it was, yeah, I mean, we could go a lot of places with this, but just wondering about it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. It was really weird. It was kind of like I took a step outside of that role as the daughter, and I wanted to kind of be a third party person in a way. You know, I didn't want to be, I didn't want to put my own perception on it. I wanted to be more objective to the whole experience. And so I thought that the questions for the most part were pretty basic. The only vulnerable one that I think they might have thought about when me being the daughter was, I think the question was, what is the most painful experience that you've had in your life? And would you like to share that with me? And both my parents talked about their divorce, but differently.
Yeah.
And so I thought that that was really interesting. And my dad had a beautiful thing to say towards the end of his, which I can't really share with anybody. It was a very private thing for him, which was a gift to me.
Yeah.
And so I would have loved to have shared it, because I think that it would have been cathartic for everybody. But
You can't
some
push
things,
it.
some things are better left unsaid.
Yeah, we're both divorced, so.
Yeah,
I'm
We're both
divorced.
married as well.
nice. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. We've all experienced.
So I guess the part that I can say it was cathartic was that piece, was the pieces that were gifts to me that I didn't share with others, like from my parents. Other than that, I just kind of let them share as human beings, not
Yeah.
as a role.
That's really brave. I don't think I could. I think I would have tasked somebody else with interviewing my parents, honestly.
It's hard to put yourself in that place. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to know what they have to say.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I feel like their answers would be so skewed based on me being the person asking. You
Yeah,
know, I'd
100%.
really want to see what they would respond.
Sure.
Yeah, separate. But that's I love that. That's so cool.
We've had a lot of conversations. My parents and I were a pretty open family. So I wasn't caught off guard necessarily by what they said. And I thought that it was pretty genuine from the get-go. I didn't think that they were skewing it necessarily. I think that my mom probably held back a little bit in
Yeah.
terms of
Oh, moms.
being super vulnerable.
Totally.
Yeah, she didn't want me to carry any of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
That's the mom vibe. So how did you get into doing portraits? And also, these portraits are acrylic pours first, right?
Yes.
And then you do the portrait over them.
I did.
But everything's acrylic.
Correct. Yes.
Cool. So how did you even get into this process and start doing portraits? I mean, it's such a specific kind
It
of art.
is. It is. My history of artwork, which you would find on my social media sites, is surrealism and texture mostly. It isn't anything like this. So I wanted to. It is crazy. I wanted to take a step into a realm of something that I had never done before, but still tie it back to who I am as a person and what I wanted to offer to others in the community. So I really love texture and physical texture, not necessarily visual. But with this project, I didn't think that it was appropriate. So I thought really long and hard about what other element of texture could I bring into it. And I thought that the acrylic pours were very similar to that. They're very fluid. They have a lot of movement to them, which can translate into texture, just a visual type of
there's
texture.
so much texture in like you clearly have
Yeah.
an eye for texture,
Yeah.
like looking at like the shirt
Yep.
of the woman here with the braids, like her, like I feel like I can feel.
Yeah,
what the
exactly.
shirt
You can
feels
feel
like,
it. You can feel it.
You know, so,
Yeah.
The sweatshirt.
And is this your
Yeah.
mother?
That is my mother, yes.
Like her hair,
Yes.
you know, like.
But I really love the juxtaposition of the pours behind the portraits. It's like spacey, you know, it's like nebulous. It could be their emotions.
Yes.
It could be, it could be a lot of different things, and I feel like it really does add a lot of depth and interest to all of these.
Thank you. It was all of a spur of the moment. I was kind of winging an idea, and so the girl with the blue shirt and the braids that you mentioned, her name is Stephanie. She was my beta piece. She was the one that I was like, I'm gonna try this and see if it works.
Well,
And when it panned out, I was like, cool, I'm running with it.
Stunning. It's
Thank
gorgeous.
you. Yes, it turned out very beautiful, and so I'm really excited with that one because it led into how I did the rest of my pieces. So I think I started off on a really great foot.
Yeah, I think that's like a really interesting thing to point out about this entire show and this body of work is that this is something that you were presented with the opportunity to have this gallery show, and you're like, sweet, I'm gonna like come up with this whole new thing. I just think that's a really, that whole construct is a really interesting thing to point out, like when you're thinking in terms of just like the way that galleries and the artist community, like I'm kind of just trying to spit out this idea that I'm not sure I'm going to get it clear, but like the way we support artists and how important spaces like this are, and how important like inviting people to do things like this and giving them the space to take those kinds of risks. And we talk a lot about how we feel like the Reno community particularly seems to give people, and probably that's true of a lot of maybe smaller cities particularly.
Sure.
Well, you
there
need
is the opportunity to do that because we have such an like an open, I don't know, it's sort of like an open door in a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of opportunities in this town, and I hope that's true of a lot of other places where if you're like willing to put in the work, we talk a lot about that. How if you're like willing to really put in the work that it takes, because it is such a Herculean effort to do a solo gallery show, you can probably find a venue in town that'll host it. And I don't know, it's really amazing that this like that you went for, like you were invited to do the show and you were able to produce a brand new to use style and brand. I haven't seen this particular combination of
abstract
not
to realism,
media, but styles, right? Myself, but like what a cool thing, right? Like this entire body of work, like arguably would not exist at all if it weren't for that. Like it weren't for that.
Did you cold call the gallery?
I did not. So Andres Vaca, Stingray, had worked with Eric previously in a lot of other events. He's really well known around town. Amazing artist. And so
he must own Stingray Tattoo.
I'm sorry?
Isn't there a tattoo shop, Stingray Tattoo?
If there was, he's no longer there. The Stingray closed down. He now has his own shop. He co-owns a shop with JM, or Jay. It's a Tidal Wave Tattoo off of Audi.
Okay. So the whole way that you were able to get this show was because you met Eric Brooks in Elko doing murals?
I did, yeah. I was in a relationship with Vaca Stingray, and he was given the opportunity to do the Elko Expo mural event, and he brought me along with him, which was like a 40-foot wall, and my first time, and it was quite a crazy experience because it's different than painting on a canvas.
It's a huge wall.
It is, and so
you painted it together.
We did, yeah, we collaborated on it, but it was mostly, I mean, he's expert, so I kind of piggybacked and did some details, and it is, if you ever go into Elko, it's on a warehouse wall. There's like a dinosaur and a cowboy guy in space, and then there's a Mexican lady in a dress, yellow dress, holding a bouquet of flowers.
Nice.
And that's the one that we did.
Cool.
And so I had met Eric through that project, through Vaca, and then we were going to collaborate on a piece together. We were going to do a show, a collaborative show together, Vaca and I, and so he had me reach out to Eric to try to see if we could find a space, and then that didn't pan out. And so Eric had reached out to me because Sierra Arts Foundation dedicated this year to finding emerging artists. And so he had reached out to me. Ta-da! So he reached out to me. Yeah, ta-da!
You're here.
And I was given this really cool opportunity to do this show. So that's how that happened.
So you initially were going to be doing this show as a collaboration with your now ex, and then then that didn't work out, and then you ended up doing it all by yourself.
Correct. Yeah,
And doing a medium and a style that you had never even done. Like, you had never done a portrait really before like a year ago.
Correct.
That is so insane.
And it's really funny. You can go back on my social media and you can see the different portraits that I've done because I've listed them in there. And so I did some really surrealism textured portraits that really aren't portraits. I did a portrait of Frida, which was the closest to realism as I could get at the time. And then I did a couple portraits of my neighbor's grandkids. And then I did the show. And so I had done 4 maybe before the show, and I knew that that wasn't what I wanted when I got this opportunity. I didn't want to do the same. I really wanted to push myself and improve on my skill set. And so I really pushed myself with the show to improve and do something next level.
I mean, get out of here with that. These are so good.
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
And you took a couple painting classes, like back in the day? Or?
I did a painting class and a drawing class in high school, and then I did a drawing class in college.
Wow.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm mostly a self-taught artist. You know, my grandma was the artist matriarch, and so we did a lot of painting of Bob Ross, like side by side at the kitchen table as a kid.
That's adorable.
So we did a lot of that. She painted a lot of rocks. She painted me like castles and dragons for my little sandbox as a kid. And so I learned a lot of that from her.
That's cool.
But in terms of improving upon my skill set, I watch a lot of YouTube. I look at other artists and what their skill set is and their tools. And then I see if I can integrate it. And if it works for me, and if I don't, I just kind of toss it and move on to the next.
I feel like that's my process too with my own artistic trajectory. It's been a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah, YouTube's the
So
best.
I feel it. I feel that.
I just, I could never do anything like this, ever, so it's really impressive.
Thank you.
I mean, I just wouldn't even know where to start. Like the shading and the blending and the, it's
Bob
all,
Ross,
it's
that's where you would
so,
start.
yeah, it's all so on point. It's so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, really.
It's quite a different technique than if you were to do it on canvas, which was what I learned with my beta piece. The Stephanie piece was just how I was going to layer all the colors, because I did a gesso over a varnished background. And so there isn't a lot of texture left over from the fabric, the canvas. And so I had to really determine how I was going to build up the paint and the layers without removing the under layers. So it's a lot of washes, a lot of thin layers and washes to kind of get that texture.
Well, it came out beautiful.
Thank you.
So what's next for you?
Eric has been kind enough to give me an opportunity to do a show honoring Pride at the Hub Coffee Roasters next year, June. In the month of Pride. So that'll be very similar to this show in theology about honoring people and creating connection, and it'll have a little bit of an educational element to it. I would like to include portraits in there, but I would like to also separate the series. So instead of having the acrylic pour backgrounds, I'd like to do more of a geometrical representation of each flag.
I love that.
And then find people who identify with that and kind of get their story.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an interactive element during the show?
I would like there to be, because I thought that it was important for there to be one with this. It was a lot of finding yourself in others and having that connection through human experience with this particular show. So I will try to find something unique to that, but also unique to honoring of Pride. So it'll be a little different, but I think that having an interactive piece helps solidify that experience for people when they come in there. I think there's a lot going on. There's an educational piece, there's a vulnerable piece, there's an interactive piece. But yes, I haven't determined what that would be, but I probably will.
I mean, it's in a year, so
Yeah,
you got some time.
I have some
I mean,
time.
look at all the stuff you did in the past. Like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. It's ridiculous. It's so good. So when can people come and see the show? How long is it up for? Where even? How even?
Yeah, so this is at the Depot Gallery off of Victorian in Sparks. It will be up for the rest of the month, so until the 29th. But the gallery is only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So those will be the last, basically next weekend is the last weekend.
Cool. So yeah,
come
you'll
out.
be able to come this weekend.
So good. And then if they want to follow you on the socials and see more of what you're doing, how can they find you?
It's my name, Breanna Ernst Art, for Facebook and Instagram.
Cool.
And then my website's a little lengthy,
We'll
so
put it in the
I bet you can find it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
They could, yeah, of course, yes. I have all the links.
Awesome.
Well, okay, so the one question we like to ask everybody, and it's a little different because you are a recently emerged artist.
Yes.
So
You yourself are in the process of your emergence.
Yes. So what would you say to yourself from a year ago? What advice would you
A year ago now, I had lost my job due to COVID. So I probably would have told myself to be brave and to persevere through the difficulties, but also the opportunity. So I had a support structure, and when you don't, it's a little weird to transverse through things without one. So I think that I overcame it, which was the perseverance portion of it. But I would tell myself to just brave through it. I think it would have been less emotional, but regardless, I think it was very rewarding.
You did it. You did it. You went into this thinking it was going to be a collaborative show, and then you pulled it out as a solo show with a whole new technique, a whole new like style that you developed. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I learned a lot all over the place. Yeah, in so many different aspects.
So you feel proud of this body of work that you're exhibiting?
Absolutely. We always
Because you should.
Yeah. We are always our own worst critics. So there was expectations that I had put on myself to have everything completed by my show, and that didn't quite happen. But I ended up using them as pieces that could show my process, which I think that a lot of people had some appreciation for.
Yeah. It was
But
really unique and interesting aspect.
yeah. But aside from that, I am proud of myself for everything that I kind of pulled off to make this happen. Yeah.
It's really awesome.
And it is a pretty big space. Like, you have a lot of wall space, and it's a lot to take on for a first show. Absolutely. Like,
It is. I underestimated it. I thought that it was much smaller when I was collecting my bodies of work. And then when I came to put them in here, I realized how big it was. But I think that having the interviews next to the pieces helped take up some of that space, so it doesn't look so bare.
No, it doesn't look bare at all.
yeah. It doesn't.
You wouldn't want it to be too jammed in
Right.
because people want to be able to take their time with the pieces, reading the interviews.
Yeah, you need to digest it. And if there was just like, bam, 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 you'd be like
I wouldn't have
overwhelmed.
thought that you felt like you could have had more stuff.
Yeah, I think it all worked out really perfect.
It did.
Yeah.
And this is such a nice space. This is a beautiful space. I'd never been here, and it's a really lovely little gallery.
Yeah, it's really great. Sparks.
We're lucky to have it.
Good job, Sparks.
Thanks, Eric, for all your work.
And Sierra Arts.
And Sierra Arts.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with us and inviting us to your show. It was really wonderful,
Thank
it's
you.
so nice to meet a new artist.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank
We're
you for
sure
the
this is not the
opportunity.
last we'll see of you.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope not. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for my
Yeah.
next one.
Can't wait for your Pride show. Excited for that.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
too.
I'm like, I want to be in it.
Do it. You want to? I'm all about it. I'm like, yes, I'll do it.
So cool.
Awesome.
All right. Yep. Let's wrap it.
Here, hold on. Hey guys, we're messing with the camera.
Is it all? Can you turn it on?
Nope, it's gone. Oh, just listen to my voice. Listen to the sound of my voice while I fix it. Yet again. It's me, Sprocket. I'm here.
We'll play some easy listening.
For real. Oh, Lord. You know, hey. Hi. We're trying our best. That's all I got to say. Now I got to move you guys here.
Oh, we're going to go there?
It's easier than me moving all the equipment. Hey. Hi. Thanks for sticking with us. It's Alex's first night, and that's cool, and she's really helpful, and we're glad to have a person here to run stuff with us. And now we're going to talk to Daniel about Innevation Center. I'm trapped. Nice, thank you.
Here we go. Hey, everybody. This is Daniel. Works here at the Innovation
Daniel
Center.
Smith.
So Introduce yourself. Tell us about your job here.
Yeah, so my name's Daniel Smith. I'm the Makerspace Manager here at the University of Reno Innevation Center. So I get to help people build stuff all day. Our Innovation Center, Makerspace, specifically targeted towards like entrepreneurs and people looking to kind of build and develop new products. People who've never made anything in their life. Those are the people we want down here making stuff.
Yeah, similar to the generator, but a little bit more. Well, it's through UNR, right? So you have a lot of students and faculty, and then a lot of businesses because you're right in. Basically, you're on the edge of downtown Midtown. Are you technically Midtown?
Yeah.
It depends on who you ask.
Okay,
It's like the edge of Midtown.
Yeah, we're right on the border.
Yeah.
So.
So that's so cool, and it's rad that you have so much co-working space and event space.
Yeah.
So a lot of like talking and
really nice,
discussion.
well-appointed.
Yes.
Like
Beautiful.
nice space.
Plus a podcast.
Yeah, we have the podcast studio for even video and audio recording.
Will you tell us all the different things that are offered in the makerspace?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a huge range of 3D printers for people to build, model whatever they want off that. We've got design stations with full SolidWorks suites, as well as a bunch of other design softwares. We've got a fully equipped machine shop, complete with CNC mills and lathes. We've got a massive 150-watt laser cutter.
That's a lot of watts, baby.
Hella watts.
It'll go through inch-thick wood if you have the patience for it. We have a full textiles lab, including sewing, embroidery, serging. We also have a large format vinyl cutter and a large format printer, so doing many poster prints, decals, or whatever you want to do. So
a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, we try to dip our fingers into a little bit of everything. And then we are also just now opening a wood shop in our new K-12 robotics center.
So cool.
That we will be opening up shortly.
And that's right across the
super
street.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's directly across the street. And just got a couple more things to figure out, but we'll hopefully be open definitely in September. We'll be welcoming people over there.
That's so soon.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
So if somebody wants to get involved, how do they do it?
So yeah, the great thing is we're just open to the public. So if you want to come check us out, you can
walk on in.
Walk on in. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Come take a tour. We do operate on a membership basis. You can also do a day pass and come down and build it. But tours are free. Come check us out. Anytime we're open, we're happy to show you around and help give you an idea of what we've got down here and how you can participate.
Nice. And if they have no experience, it's totally fine because you have trained staff here that will help guide them through the process.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have an excellent student staff. We're all university students, and they know how to use all of the equipment down here. So if you've never, touched a power tool in your life, that's totally fine. Come down. We will get you working on your project safely. We'll train you. We'll help you figure out what you need to do, and we'll make it happen.
Stuff. Rad. Well, thanks so much for hosting us in your space. It's been really fun to see everything. I can't believe I haven't been here before. I feel ashamed. And yeah, I want to come back, and we definitely want to collaborate, and maybe some special events that we're going to collaborate on as maker spaces. Oh, what could it be?
See what happens.
Possible.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Really glad to have you down here and collaborate, and I can't wait to see your new space when it opens. And
awesome.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what? If you wanted to, you guys could make a mini golf hole in our mini golf.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's 18 holes of DIY mini golf, and each team makes a hole.
Oh.
I don't know if you'd like to do that or not.
That would be amazing. I think I've got a couple students who'd be really excited.
Perfect.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Sweet. I'll send you the details.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That'd be great.
It's like the best time. Yeah, it's so good. Cool.
Yeah, super excited. Awesome. Thank you so much.
We're going to wrap this up here and get out of your hair so you can go home.
And yeah, so if you want to build a golf hole, did that sound like fun to you? Making a really cool haunted mini golf hole? It's going to be so fun. You know you want to participate, so check it out. Go on the Generator website and check out our info there, or our Facebook or Instagram. You can find stuff. Sprocket's just going to be posting more and more about it. So we
Well-
only have 18 holes, so we only have so many spots. So if
And
you
there's
really want to do it, get
4
on it.
teams signed up, okay?
They're going fast, folks. They're going fast.
Yeah. And so we're going to have our grand opening for both the mini golf and the generator on October 23rd. It's going to be a massive party. DJs, bands, aerialists, crazy party like we do. And
It's going to pop off, folks.
it'll be also haunted with our mini golf course that we made with all of you.
Spooky.
So you should probably come out, put it on your calendar. And we're also now taking applications for studio artists, and we have limited space for that too, and projects. So go to our website, fill out all the stuff so you can get involved, because we're going to be opening up, and it's going to be lit, fam.
Yeah, if it ends up being, we're doing, even if it goes like full COVID, we're going to move this outside.
Yeah,
It's
into
going
the
to
art
happen,
park.
whatever we got to do. So
matter
we're trying to, so, you've been wanting to dress up in a costume. You've been stuck in your house for all these years.
All these years.
Don't you miss wearing a costume? I do. I'm going to be there in a crazy costume. I'm thinking maybe some kind of bird.
Nice. I've been a bird before, remember when I was Bird of Paradise that one time?
We could both be birds again, like back in 2011 when we were both
Ungulates.
African ungulates.
That was the theme of our costume that year,
Springbok, Gemsbok.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do Instagram roundup really fast. We've got 3 minutes. What's up, Micah? Micah, can you hear me?
The bird is the word.
The
That's
bird
right.
is always the word.
Bird is always the word.
My partner calls me Burb.
So sometimes burb is the word.
True facts.
All right, Instagram roundup, friends.
No Micah, though. It's fine.
Oh, maybe Wednesday's not a
okay.
good night for him. We might have to change it again.
I know, my microphone. Okay, so this is what we got coming up this week. I'm going to switch over to here so I can see what's happening. Thank you. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Pitch Black Printing Co. Viv. It's going to be so cool. It's a queer art and illustration show. That's on Friday. We're going to be there. We're going to be interviewing Viv and talking about their art. So that's